to fly, but I worry all the time that he will stay alive. He's done a lot of stuff that makes me wince. He's telling stories and dancing on the fence. Oh, life is a place between death and joy.
Well, hello, gentlemen. You're on Mountain MGTOW, where you're always welcome. So, first things first. As always, it's been about a year, a little bit longer, as I always tend to do, but I got to give a huge special shout out to Casey Parks, my man, for kicking my ass to make more videos. And there's kind of a reason why I'm not making as many videos. There's I guess a few small reasons, but mainly I don't have much more to say on MGTOW. Sure, there's a lot of topics we need to address, but lots of other guys are addressing it. What I kind of lament right now in the MGTOW sphere, manosphere, is that MGTOW itself, the name brand, however you view it, is not very prominent, not very prevalent. And it's a shame because, you know, I herald MGTOW and the ideologies within our sphere to have saved my life. I've said that many times. It's very evident that I needed something to help me when I was in that tremendously dark place. And we've kind of gone underground now. We don't get the views that we used to. Sandman doesn't do his dailies anymore. There's a lot of people that have exited. I lament TFM's departure. I understand why he had to stop. For people that don't know, TFM is Turd Fligging Monkey. He was actually a protege of Sandman's and an immensely intelligent MGTOW. Now, he is actually still around. He does podcasts on MGTOW.tv. It's not a very recognized platform, unfortunately. But anyway, so once again, thanks, Casey Parks. You're the guy that kicked my butt into making more content. So with that out of the way, I want to talk today about how women feel about men. Sorry about my other phone. I wish I could punch it or throw it in the river. I use an older phone to film these videos, in fact, and it works out quite well. Right now, I'm in the backwoods of Sumas Mountain in Abbotsford. I forgot to look at what the name of this trail was, but it's a lovely trail. And the raspberries are starting to grow into season right here now. Might get myself a couple here. Not actual raspberries, more like red blackberries. But anyway, on to the topic at hand. So, how women feel about men. I purposefully titled it that because women don't think about men. They don't think about men in the way that it occupies their mind. We don't really enter their mind as far as knowledge. And if it sounds like I'm out of breath, I apologize. I'm out of shape. I've got a medical condition now that will be addressed very shortly. And I'm just out of shape because of it. I can't exercise as much. You know what? I'm going to silence that phone. Pardon me. Apologize for that. This is a lovely trail that eventually finds its way to Chadsey Lake. It's about a 2-hour long hike from here. I'm not going to get all that way to Chadsey. I did film once there before. Absolutely wonderful untouched area. Nobody goes up there. I even blazed a new trail called the Cunt Trail. Now, I can't really say that too often on this video because YouTube's not going to like me. I'm going to have to be careful with how I word things. So, sorry, I sidetrack a lot. Yeah, so women, we can understand them a little bit better than they understand us because they don't think of us. They don't set aside space for us in their minds. They don't have to care for us, even though there was a certain amount of care that they used to produce for us in terms of managing a household and caring for that household. They don't do that anymore. They manage their own households. But as soon as a man enters the frame, it's unpaid labor. Are you kidding me? If it's unpaid labor, we'd rather pay someone to do it than listen to their nagging. The nagging. Maybe that's going to be a title for a future episode, the nagging. So, lately, well, I mean, it's been growing for a while now, this entitlement that women have and the way that they see themselves. And they believe themselves as higher than us. And the reason for that is because they don't see us as human. They treat us as other. And women always claim what they want from a man, never making the connection that men are human beings, that we deserve the same treatment as women treat other women. And that's another effect of the hive mind. And they just can't get around it. They can't. There are a few females, and I'm going to date myself here, like Karen Strawn, but more recently, Jedediah Bila. I've seen a few of her things, and obviously Pearly from Just Pearly Things, or Pearl. They have a certain level of like a surface level understanding of men, but it doesn't go beyond that and never does. And as a hierarchy, as men tend to quantify things and qualify things, men are at the top of the hierarchy, not because we're stronger, although that is a byproduct of it and part of our biology, part of the world. Yes, the universe is sexist. Sorry if that offends you, ladies. I don't care. Nor should any other man. But we're at the top of the hierarchy because we understand things. We don't talk all the time. We actually take time to reflect on our surroundings. We observe, we focus, and we remember. I'm sorry that replicant fish got demonetized. But it's because we silently observe our surroundings and the physical state of the world is why we're able to calculate so easily and so efficiently. The depth and breadth of our knowledge is what places us on top of the hierarchy. The weakness of women is inherent to them. And this is going to sound very patriotic and maybe even a little bit insulting, but your weakness is not my responsibility. That would go for men as well. In fact, normally it does. It goes completely towards men. But in terms of women and how they view us men, it's now an understanding and even an assumption that their weakness is not our responsibility any longer. For thousands of years, we have built and structured society to care for women. Our societies are beginning to fall apart because we have been overly benevolent towards women and towards less fortunate people. I applaud that benevolence. In fact, it is truly desirable and honorable. But we don't have the resources for that anymore. And frankly, women's dismissal of our benevolence and hatred of our position at the top of the hierarchy, even though we were graceful towards them, is outrageous, and we're not going to tolerate it anymore. And so if women think that it is our duty to protect them, care for them, and provide for them, that shit's over. That shit is totally over. They seem to think that they're higher up than us now. And it's so outrageous that they think this way. I hear some rustling in the leaves there. Probably a bear nearby. And so this entitlement that women feel and how they treat us, it's just garbage. I got to keep looking down because this is an advanced trail. I got to watch where I step. They really treat us like garbage. It's quite a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a real good example of how they see us as uncivilized and barbaric or whatever. But it's actually the opposite way, because in terms of building and production, well, they don't really produce anything. We have them around to produce babies, but they don't do that anymore. And as a result, our society grinds to a halt. It's interesting the way Islam and other more patriarchal religions keep their women in check. And it's because of their less tolerant nature that they're able to have dominion over their women. I remember one time I was working at a kitchen. It was like a fast food restaurant we have here. You have them, I believe, in America as well, called A&W root beer, but we also have the restaurants. And it's been all bought out by Punjabi people that have immigrated here. In Canada, we've got an explosion of immigrants from India. And there's almost only women that work in the fast food industry. And they're all Punjabs, Indian women. And I remember they were throwing away eggs that broke the yolk when they separated them from the shell. And I commented to one of them, I said, "You're throwing that away? That's perfectly good food. That's a perfectly good egg." You know what she said in response? "If I serve that, my boss will kill me." And it's because her boss is a Punjabi man, an Indian man. And they're strict with them. They hit them. They physically abuse them. And I'm never going to say that's right. But I understand what Sean Connery was saying when he was being interviewed. Barbara Walters? Yeah, by Barbara Walters back in the 80s. That when a woman demands to have the last word in all arguments, then you got to respond with something that she understands more. And what do stupid people understand more than words? Physical pain. That sounds terrible, but you're not going to reason with a dog when they don't understand language. And I swear, some of these feminists, in fact, all the feminists and most women entirely, just don't understand words. Like, what is a man? They completely redefine everything. And at some point, I know they're going to say, a man is a slave to women. They will say that. Because they're not even hiding their insufferability and their intolerance anymore. Ugh. They'll straight out come out and say it. That they view men as lesser. Feminism is about equality, right? What a load of shit. And so how women feel about men, there you go. They have no problems mistreating men. They don't even see the injustice. And so they don't understand the meaning of the word man or human. And they make the general distinction between man and woman, but they don't understand that we are all the same species. A lot of the times they'll say the male species. Well, no, we're all the same species, you idiot. But I'm going to sign off here. I want to thank you all for watching. You're always welcome here on MGTOW. I'll see you around.